Hello and welcome to Slick Trading. Today we're going to be talking about understanding reports, which is a very important and useful thing to know. So the way to find your reports is to go into your menu, 3 lines, top left hand corner, and click on reports. Now, what is across the top is exactly the same as what is in the boxes below. So if you wanted to see your staff KPIs, you could either click on it at the top or you can click on it on the box. It's exactly the same thing. So when you come up in here, you have the options to choose your various different reports. First of all, you've got your weekly dashboard. This will show you the current week, and it will show you your revenue, so your sales to date and your forecast of sales for this week, okay? You can also see your sales by category, so what category is doing the best, and therefore what do we need to promote more. And then you've got your average bill. So if your average bill is a little bit low this week or this month, you might think, okay, what can we do to boost our average bill? Maybe we'll think about doing something with treatments or upselling some products, etc., etc. Then you've got your rebooking rate. Okay, so then you have your monthly dashboard, and you will be able to see a nice graph of how well the salon has been doing month on month. Okay, and ideally we want to always be going up. Obviously we're going to have some sway, there's going to be a bit of seasonality going on, but generally we want to see an increase year on year. Okay, then you have your total revenue for all staff listed out by month, including VAT and excluding VAT, and it also tells you the VAT due. Very good. You've also then got your service revenue, same thing again, retail revenue, and you've got your no-show fees per staff. Very, very important figures here. Now you can download these to Excel and send them straight to the accountant, or you can give your accountant his or her own login, and they can log in and access this anytime they want to. You can, of course, choose whether you want to see specific staff or whether you want to see employed staff or self-employed staff. You've got that option there. And you can also change your date range. So if you want to look at last year, you can simply change the date range in here and view those figures for that time period. Next up, you have your staff KPI report. Now, your KPI report is probably the most important report that you've got in the whole system. It is your key performance indicator report, and it tells you how well you are predicted to do or how successful your business is going to be over whatever time period you use. So you can look at it going forward and you can look at it going backwards. So for example, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my date range and I'm going to take it from the 13th of March all the way down to the end of March. So here we can see from the 13th of March until the end of March, all the data in terms of how successful my salon is going to be. Now, it might look like a lot of information. Don't worry, it's not as terrifying as you think. So the first thing that we need to look at is staff performance. So you've got the first graph here. Now, the most important figures that you want to look at here are occupancy. Occupancy tells you how busy you are going to be. So my salon currently needs a little bit of extra work because I am only 21% full, okay? And it manages the occupancy versus the number of days that the staff member is working. So it knows exactly how much time they have to spend in the salon. So if I have a low occupancy, now occupancy should at a very minimum be 70% for the salon as a whole and per staff member. Now, obviously, you'll get assistants and juniors, etc., that won't be included in that. But everybody who is an active staff member should be at a very minimum 70%. Ideally, we want to get to 100, obviously. So that tells you how busy you are and how much white space you have to fill. So I've got 80% almost white space to fill in my diary. And I have a very handy tab here that says get more bookings. More on that later. If you want to get more bookings, go and visit our client communications marketing video because that will tell you exactly how to get more bookings. So occupancy, number one. Then you want to have a look at total booking value. So if you just looked at your monthly dashboard and seen that last month you made 10 grand, but this month we've only got 8 grand in the diary, what we want to do is get more bookings in the diary. So that's a good one to have a look at, and also your average booking value. If your average booking value is usually somewhere around 60, 70 quid, but this month we're looking at 50 quid, then we know we've got a little bit of work to do. Maybe we want to upsell some treatments, maybe we want to sell some more retail products, maybe we want to get more colour services in because they're going to be more lucrative. Underneath that, you then have your appointments graph. So again, this is the same date range in the staff KPI report, and it tells me an overview. How many have confirmed by SMS? The value of the confirmed bookings, the number that have booked online. So you can see I've only had 6 online bookings. So what do I need to do? I need to make sure that people know how to book online. I've got my value of online bookings. Then I've got the number that are marked as a no-show, the value that are marked as a no-show, the number of cancelled appointments, the value of the cancelled appointments, and the value of cancellations and no-shows together. Now, this is quite an interesting one. When you're looking forward, it's going to give you a very different perspective than when you're looking backward. It's always very important to look backward at this graph. So, what I've done here is I have changed my date range. So I've gone back to the 1st of January until the end of March, because I want to see exactly what the value of my cancellations and no-shows for that time period are. This is a very important figure to keep track of. So you can see in my last column here, I've got £3,533 worth of no-shows and last-minute cancellations. Now, imagine that figure over an entire year. It starts to build up, and that's when we start to think, okay, what do we need to do? Remember, it's not what the numbers are, but what the numbers are telling you. And this is telling me I need to make sure that I am taking deposits. So if I've got online booking on, I need to make sure that I am taking deposits. And ideally, you want to be taking at least 50%. That's what the majority of salons go for, okay? It also means that when I'm in salon making a booking, I need to make sure that I am taking a deposit. Okay, so I need to be taking deposit from at least every client. If not, all colour services, absolutely, all high ticket items, new clients and clients that are a bit wobbly and tend not to show up, definitely take a deposit from them. So again, it's not what the numbers are, but what the numbers are telling me. Then underneath, I've got my clients graph. Now this tells me exactly the number of client visits I had. Again, it's good to compare month on month or every quarter. And the other important one to have a look at here is your rebooking rate. Now this should be a minimum of 50%. That is what your rebooking rate should be. If it's not, we need to think about what we're doing. Are our staff saying the right things when a client pays for the bill and when it's time to ask them to rebook? It can be something very simple, like instead of saying, Mrs. Smith, would you like to rebook for 6 weeks' time? You say, Mrs. Smith, you're due in 6 weeks' time. Would you like to come in on Tuesday or the Wednesday? So you're still giving the client the option, but you're making sure that that booking is in the diary. The other way of boosting your rebooking is to make sure that you've got online booking on, because remember, when they get a receipt, the booking link is at the bottom of the text. And to send an automated message after the client has been in, you can have one that says, thank you, please leave us a review here, or thank you and please rebook here, and pop the online booking link. That's a really easy way to boost up your rebooking, okay? The other one you want to have a look at is your visit frequency. How often are clients visiting? So at the minute, I'm doing a terrible job in my salon. My clients are coming in every 31 weeks. Now, if you're a barber, you might want everybody to come in every sort of 7 to 8 weeks. It might be even less. If you're a beauty salon, it might be every 7 weeks. It might be every month. If you're a hair salon, it might be sort of 8 to 10 to 14 weeks, depending on what kind of services you do and what are your most popular. Ideally, the sweet spot is around 10 weeks. If you're getting people coming in every 10 weeks, you're going to end up making more money. Underneath that, you've got a list of, or two graphs of your new clients, so a little bit of information on them, how many new clients you've had over whatever time period, what their value is, how many have rebooked, very important. And you also have the same graph for your existing clients, so the number of existing clients that have come in, their value, their average booking value, and how many of those clients have rebooked. Very important to have a look at. Underneath that, you have your counts of services. Now, this is quite useful. So, for example, I can see here that my ladies styling services are the most popular. So what am I going to do with that information? So what I might do is I might reorder my services so that I've got colour services first, and then instead of cutting, I might have ladies styling. So I might put that above so that it's easier for clients to book. If it's my most popular service, I want to give my clients the easiest way to be able to book that service. So that's what that figure might tell me to do. If you've got, for example, treatments are a bit low, maybe you think, okay, maybe we should be doing a little bit more promotion on our treatments. Maybe we'll do, I don't know, I'm going to message all my lost clients who haven't been back for 12 weeks or over. I'm going to offer them a free treatment to come in so that when they come next time, they go, do you know what, that treatment was lovely. I'm going to add it onto my bill this time. You see, it's not what the numbers are, it's what the numbers are telling you. And then underneath, you've got your booking value by service. Okay, so it tells you the value of all of those bookings together, all of those services together, and the count. Okay, so again, you might have the same information and reorder your services or do some promotion with that information. Okay, so that's your KPI report. You can either look backwards or you can look forwards. Now, it's important to remember here that if you're looking backwards and you're looking at the total booking value, it won't be the same as what was in revenue. Okay, so if you want to find your revenue for that time period, go into revenue, because revenue is going to be different from KPI. And the reason for that is you might do some discounts, you might have added some products onto the bill, you might have done various other bits and bobs at checkout, which means the revenue is the more accurate figure. Okay. And on that note, let's go into revenue. So if I switch between any of the reports in here, my date range stays the same. So I only have to set it once, okay? So revenue, again, it will show you the past week, but you can obviously look at any time period that you want. In here, it will show me a revenue summary per staff member. So I've got services first, I've then got retail, I've got no-show fees, I've got my total revenue, clients checked out, and my average bill. Now, what are the figures telling me? Is my average bill a little bit low? Do I need to boost up my average bill? Is my retail revenue dropping? Do I need to do a little bit of promotion on retail? Do I need to train my staff on how to sell retail? Have I got very high no-show fees? Do I need to be taking deposits instead? And is my service revenue perhaps a little bit less than I want it to be, and therefore I need to do more marketing? Again, it's not what the numbers are, it's what the numbers are telling you. Then underneath, you've got your revenue by category. So here it will break it down for you per staff member, and you'll be able to see what category is doing the best for which staff member. And again, at the bottom, you've got your revenue by services, all fairly self-explanatory. Underneath that, you've then got itemized discounts per staff member. So you'll see the number of items that are checked out, the number of items that were discounted per staff member, the percentage of items that were discounted, the value of discounts given, and the percentage of discounts given. If at any point you're not sure what any of these things mean, there is the little eye icon, and if you hold your mouse over the top of that eye icon, it will tell you the information as to how that figure is calculated, okay? And again, underneath you've got a discounts breakdown, so services and retail, and then discounts itemised by category. So you can be on top of the discounts at all times, all right? So next one along is future revenue. Again, very important to look at. Ideally, you want to be looking at all of these reports at the start of every week and at the end of every week to manage your business as profitably as possible. So I've changed my date range here, so I can now see April. I can now see how full essentially each staff member is. So I've got future occupancy. Sophia's at 1%. She's got 99% to fill. And it then tells me how many future appointments I've got and the future revenue I'm predicted to make and the average bill for the future revenue. So if I want to get more bookings, which I think I do, quite frankly, I can click on the button that says get more bookings and it takes me straight into marketing, which is super handy. Please do check out our marketing videos on help with that. Next up, you have your retail report. So I've changed the date range here from the 1st until the 19th of March, and I can see a breakdown of retail sales per staff member. So I can see the number of items sold, I can see their value, I can see the percentage of retail as a percentage of total sales, clients who bought retail, number of clients, and my retail attachment rate. Then underneath, I can then see a list of all the products sold by staff member broken down by the product itself. If you need to change or add or amend any of your products, please head to stock management. If you need any training on that, please look at our stock management training video. Then we have our commissions report. Now this will give you a breakdown per staff member, and you can put your commission rate in here. This only works if you have a flat rate of commission. So for example, Sophia has a 20% commission rate on her colours, and on her styling and gents cuts on retail products she has 10%. You can change this at any point, so let's say I'm going to bring her down to 5% commission. It will then work out the commission based on those figures. Now obviously all of these figures only work if you are checking out your bookings, so it's very important to make sure that you and your staff know how to check out properly, because then it will pull through all the figures into here and you can do all of your reports nice and quickly at the click of a button. So it will obviously show this per staff member, and you can change any of the commission rates at any time and it will work it out for you. If you want to do your VAT, now this is the same for any of the reports in here. You've got the VAT box in the top right hand corner of the screen. You just type in your VAT amount and it will then show you all your figures net of VAT. Payments report. This is very, very useful. So this will give you an exact breakdown of all the payment types over whatever date range you have chosen. So for example here, you can see I've got a payment split by staff member for my total revenue, and it's broken it down by cash, by card, card via Slick, deposits redeemed. So that's when a deposit has been redeemed. Remember, a deposit and a voucher do not go into revenue until they have been redeemed. So you can see exactly here what's been redeemed by deposits and vouchers. You've then got other, which is usually things like bank transfer, PayPal, check, that kind of thing. You've then got your revenue excluding tips, and you've got your tips along the side. It's broken down by staff member and you've got the total at the bottom, okay? That again is your date range that you've chosen here specifically, and I've decided to show my figures net of VAT by putting the 20% in the VAT box at the top. Then you can see your payment split by services, and underneath you can see it by products, all right? Then at the very bottom, you've got the cash cards split by client. So this shows you exactly how each client has paid, what payment method they have used. As with any of your reports, you can either print them from the browser by clicking on the three lines and clicking print, or you can click download to Excel, and you can download these reports to an Excel spreadsheet and send it straight to the accountant. Or if you want to make life even easier, just give your accountant his or her own login. Just makes life so much easier. Then you've got your hours report. Now this will be changing as we bring out full rotas for each staff member, but for the meantime, you can see exactly for whatever time period, you can see their time off, their hours available, the hours that they're busy, the hours that they've worked, and their occupancy, all right? You can also see that by category, and you can see that by staff member and per category and service. So if I just wanted to see Chloe's, that will tell me Chloe is working 16 hours in the colour category. She's got 7 hours worth of gents cut, 15 hours and 30 minutes worth of ladies cutting, etc., etc. And then it breaks it down by service, all right? Bookings report, very useful, particularly if you have got online booking. This will tell you how many bookings you get in salon and how many you get online. And if you've got Facebook and Instagram set up, you will see that instead of it just saying direct, it will say Facebook underneath and Instagram underneath that, and you will see exactly how many bookings you're getting from each platform, which is very, very useful to track. So for example, if you're getting a lot through direct, but you're not getting through many through Facebook and Instagram, it might mean that we've got to do a little bit more social media. Please do check out our masterclasses on that. Go to getslick.com/masterclass and you can find all of this information there. So that will tell you basically where your bookings are coming from. Then you've also got them by status. So if you ever want to find out the number of unconfirmed bookings that you had in a certain time period, you can select your date range, go into bookings, and it will tell you exactly that in there. All right. And then you have your downloadable section. So if you want to download a transaction log to see all of the list of transactions over whatever date range, and it will break it down as much as you could possibly need, it will download it all to an Excel spreadsheet and you can email that straight to the accountant. You've also got a booking log, so the number of bookings that were made within that time period, and you've got a deleted booking log. So if you ever need to see bookings that were deleted over a certain time period, you can do so in there. All right. As ever, if you have any questions, please contact customer support. That's what they're there for. There's no such thing as a silly question. And if you want some one-to-one coaching, please ask to speak to your business coach, and they will be able to go through this with you. It's very important to be able to analyze your data, to be able to understand how to analyze your data. And it's not what the numbers are, it's what the numbers are telling you. Join us for our other training videos. Just go to getslick.com/training, and I will see you there.